Hello all my Kenvians and welcome to a new episode of Discovering Hopefuls. As you know, in the previous episode of these, I watched Devilman Crybaby, or the first episode of Devilman Crybaby. Unfortunately, it was not one that very many people seemed that they wanted a Discovering series on. So I decided for the next one, to put up a little poll on Patreon and put out the vote there to see what all people might want to see as far as a new Discovering Hopeful. And the one voted for, by a pretty wide margin, except for one other show, was Rick and Morty, which that should be no surprise since that's what's in the title of this. And just so you know, when watching Rick and Morty, or the pilot episode, I'm not going to be taking any notes, although it's my personal inclination to do so. So it's all my reactions and my review at the end is going to be very off the cuff. And the purpose of this is to find out whether or not you all might want to see a continuing Discovering series for Rick and Morty. When that might occur, I can't really say right now because my schedule is full up, but I want to do this nonetheless to find out what kind of interest there might be for me doing a Discovering Rick and Morty series. So, let's begin with Rick and Morty pilot episode. And I have seen one episode of Rick and Morty, just so you know, but it was not the pilot. So, let's begin and go.
That was all a test, Morty. Just an elaborate test to make you more assertive. It was? Sure, why not? I don't know.
Oh no. Well, that's one way to cold open the entire start to the show. Good lord. Come to think of it, I don't think I've ever seen the intro to any of the shows. So I don't know. Okay. Okay. Alright. So, in my edition of Hulu, still have ads. Which I'm not used to because Steven Universe doesn't have any ads during its run. So, yeah, hopefully they won't interrupt too much. And who knows, I might just leave this portion in because I'm talking over the ad anyway. That's awesome. I don't want to Ford.
This was a good breakfast, Beth. You really made the crap out of those eggs. I wish your mother was here to eat them.
Oh, Dad.
What? For real? All right, I am about to get away from the windows.
Okay.
Morty, what are you doing to me?
I'm just doing my best. Morty, what are you doing to me? Morty! 5 more minutes of this and I'm going to get mad. My fault this is happening.
Oh my god!
Well. Morning, Frank.
This is the story we'll be telling our children. Hi, Frank.
Oh my god!
We're losing him.
Hey, Tom, we know when we're losing him. We can hear the things.
All right, come on, Morty. Okay.
God. Oh.
What is this?
Okay, so another ad. Yay. Oh, White Castle. Cool, thanks. Oh my god. You know what? These commercials might actually work in short bursts because it kind of lets me process things. And I don't know, the one episode I have seen, which is the one where the dogs take over the world. Spoilers if you haven't seen that far ahead. But, yeah. I don't remember it being quite this chaotic. I'm not upset by the chaos. Oh, they escaped it.
No charge left, Morty. It's got no charge left. What? It's as good as garbage, Morty. It's not going to work anymore, Morty. Oh, jeez, Rick, that's not good.
What the?
What are we going to do?
What's with the face?
We have to be back at school right now. How are we going to get back home? Back home, Morty. It's going to be a little bit of a hassle.
Crap! Don't think about it! Oh my god! And another commercial, of course. You know, doing this might actually bring me to spring for the adless version of Hulu. But oh my god! That was... I mean, I kind of noticed that they were, you know, kind of murdering people by the sense that they actually had these characters talking and interacting and not just being, you know, background dressing. But then they actually, it's like, Morty shoots off the legs of one of those guards and they're just like, tell his wife and children. It's just like, what? Wow. Okay.
Fill baskets and watch Paul Newman movies on VHS and mentally scar the Boy Scouts every Christmas.
Dad!
Personal?
My help is all?
Morty, stay out of this. You are obviously not...
Between us from now on, it's going to be 100% honesty and open, clear communication.
Frank PapaKenn was frozen to death today.
No idea what you're talking about.
Bedtime in an hour. Don't stay up all night.
The adventures of all 100 years. Every minute, rickandmorty.com. www.100times.rickandmorty.com.
Okay. That... try and gather my thoughts on this. So... Now, as I said earlier, I've only seen the one episode of Rick and Morty, and that's when the dogs take over the world, because Rick makes their dog super smart or something like that. So... Again, I had not seen the pilot. And again, maybe it's just because I haven't seen any of the episodes in a long period of time, but good God, that was chaotic. I mean, chaotic, the bizarre, to say the least. A very interesting sci-fi universe that they have set up. It did seem like there was a bit of inconsistency as far as that world Rick and Morty travel to goes. Because again, at first it looked very Dr. Seuss-esque, based on the plant life and the houses and stuff like that. But then after that, it changed, like the background and everything changed into more jagged, more... what's that one? Oh, there was a movie or maybe a couple movies that came out called Heavy Metal. And I think those were actually based on magazines or something like that. But the art kind of reminded me of that. So, yeah, it's intriguing, to say the least. It's bizarre. And honestly, it seems like something that I would have a lot of fun getting into as far as watching this as a discovering series. I'm not exactly sure how many episodes there actually are. Let me see if... looks like there are currently 2 seasons out and only 21 episodes. So... there might be more than that, I'm not entirely sure, but that's what they have on Hulu at the very least. And to be completely honest with you, again, if you all would like to see more of this, I would definitely enjoy watching Rick and Morty as a discovering series. Or at the very least giving it a try, since there's 21 episodes, watching, you know, at least maybe a few episodes in to see whether or not it clicks, and whether or not you all would like it. But, let's see, I'm trying to think of any particular favorites versus annoyances. I can't really say I had many annoyances. The art was a bit basic, I feel, at least compared to what I remember of that later episode. But at the same time, it's the pilot, so with it only being the pilot, I don't fully expect the art to be at its prime, so to speak, so that's not a huge deal. As for favorites, still trying to think of any, and it's not because I don't have any favorites, it's because just everything was so kind of insane and crazy, and they had these random one-liners thrown in that took me by surprise, these random comments, just the things that were constantly happening would take me by surprise and shock me. I think as a whole, I guess you could say that's my favorite as far as this episode goes. Like, it's just an insane, very intriguing introduction to a show that has a fairly large fan base. And again, if you all would want to see more of this, please do let me know in the comments down below, and if enough of you like it, I will work on making it into a full-fledged discovering series. Again, when that could actually happen, I don't know for sure, but I would do my best to actually work it into my recording schedule. If you would not want to see more of this in the future, please do let me know why in the comments down below. And again, thank you to all my patrons for voting on the different shows that they did. All of the shows that were on the list are potentials for either a future discovering series or, again, discovering hopefuls that might come up. This Rick and Morty was the top voted of those, and the second top voted, which I actually will record a Discovering Hopefuls for sometime in the next week or so, will be Black Mirror. So that should be interesting. But alright everyone, again, please leave me your thoughts in the comments down below. I'm really interested to see what you all think of this, and again, whether or not you want to see more. So until next time everyone, for the next episode of Discovering Hopefuls, I am PapaKenn, and I will see you in the next episode.